Well, hello guys. As you can see, I am no longer pregnant and I am supposed to still be pregnant. My due date was supposed to be July 14th, but circumstances happened and I delivered my baby earlier. So this is my labor and delivery story. So, guys, I'm a woman of a certain age. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna get into that certain age, what that is. But I am a woman of a particular age, as Auntie Wendy would say, RP to the Wendy Williams show. But I got pregnant fairly easy, but the pregnancy was so rough. I went through it this pregnancy. I nearly miscarried at 6 weeks. I had extreme food aversion. I lost 15 pounds early on, a little over 15 pounds. I couldn't eat meat. It was just craziness. I broke out. I was throwing up. I've never thrown up in a pregnancy. This will be my third pregnancy and never threw up before. This time I threw up and it was just crazy. It was just a rough time. So what wound up happening is I was 31 weeks and I went in for my doctor's appointment and I actually was headed to work afterwards. And when you go, you see the nurse first. The nurse weighs you, takes a urine sample, does your blood pressure. So we're talking and she does my blood pressure first. And she's like, oh, I'll be right back. And I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking, oh, what's wrong? Something wrong with the machine, whatever. No, she comes back with my doctor who tells me my blood pressure is dangerously high. I need to head over to labor and delivery right away. So I was so early on, I hadn't even seen the hospital. I had to get directions to the new wing because although I had delivered there before, I had delivered at the main hospital. And since I had my middle child almost 8 years ago at this point, they built a new wing of the hospital, new building, and that's where labor and delivery now was. So she gave me directions. I headed over. So she told me originally that they were probably just going to keep me overnight just to stabilize my blood pressure. I get there, they check me out. Everybody's really nice. They asked me, did I fall, anything like that? I'm like, no. I didn't get any of the footage. Of course, I wouldn't be filming me getting checked out. But I didn't know that things were about to get real. So they check me out and then they're like, all right, we're going to send you to your room. I'm like, room? Yeah, you're going to be staying. You're going to be with us for the next 3 weeks. And I start freaking out. Like, what? No one wants to stay in a hospital, like, for an extended period of time. Not voluntarily, but they were keeping me. So they sent me up to this room and it was really nice. I didn't get any footage because I thought I was in there for the 3 weeks. So I wound up staying there for that night into Thursday morning. I was Wednesday into Thursday morning and on this is like Thursday afternoon. And they like, oh, they were like, we have to move you. So they moved me down to labor and delivery. And so I'm like, what is going on? And they're like, we couldn't stabilize your blood pressure. Blood pressure is still pretty high and you've now developed, I originally just had preeclampsia out of nowhere, and then it was like now you have preeclampsia with severe side effects. So the hubs was there and we were in labor delivery and they're like, yeah, it's looking like by tomorrow, if we can't get your blood pressure down by tomorrow, we're gonna have to deliver you. So that's when I started vlogging because now I'm panicking and I'm like, all right, if this is go time, then I need to probably document this. So you'll see footage starting from there. Hi. If I look a little crazy, it's because I'm really swollen. This is not what I expected. I am 31 weeks and I'm in the hospital and might be having my baby. My bad, it's very late. So the light went out. So me and I upstairs here and yeah, worst case scenario. I have preeclampsia, so very swollen, high blood pressure, low blood sugar, by the way, really weird. And I'm just, I don't know how to feel and where to be in this situation. So just gonna like pray and just write it out. So I know y'all like to see the hospital room.
Okay, private bathroom stuff. This I'm not trying to use no time soon. Like that is so scary to me. But we're in labor and delivery. All the linens and the chairs that see somebody's feet. Somebody's sleeping. Stuff. I will show you the view, but it's really foggy. Little closet, big TV, which I'm not watching. It's just on. Yeah, this is the room. So I'm convinced this is little Baby Diva. They spend all this time trying to hook up to the monitor, and she keeps moving. Like anything you hear outside of her heartbeat, that's her moving around. Like she don't stay still. But I'm excited to get to know her and see her personality, even though I feel like I'm seeing it now.
After that, so now my sister is kind of vlogging for me. She's got the footage because once it got real, I stopped vlogging. I didn't realize like that I was out.
You got this, champ.
This back, you have a piece? Take the back out. All the things from one.
You got this too, Lamont. You got it.
Oh, take off. Oh, yeah. Can you put the feet up?
Hold on.
Oh, thank you.
Keep going. Little more. And then we'll go up so that after we break our back.
Thank you.
I had started to swell at a certain point. Like I was really swollen, and I was starting to slur my speech. I'm still really struggling with that afterwards. Like my memory is not the greatest still after, and sometimes I say the wrong thing. Like I mean one thing and I know what I mean in my head, but it comes out another way. Yeah, it's a side effect of this pregnancy. My sister was filming and the hubster got into the scrubs. I don't remember any of this. I remember getting my epidural. I remember the doctor coming in to introduce himself and tell me what the plan was. Originally, I wanted to push her out, and he said that's cool, but I think she's too small and it might be too much stress. Labor might be too much stress on her. She's preemie. She's premature, very early. C-section might be your best bet, but I'm like, I do not want a C-section. I've never had one. I didn't want one. So he leaves. He says, you know, I'm gonna get the order for the Pitocin, so that makes you have contractions. He goes, and then I'm talking to the hubster, and at this point I realize I'm starting to sound loopy. I'm hearing how I'm sounding in my head. My voice even changed while I was in the hospital. It was really weird. So I'm realizing that it's I'm sounding loopy, and I asked the hubster, like, what do you think? Do you think I should do? And he's like, I think you should have the C-section. I don't think you should put the baby through any unnecessary stress. So I'm like crying, and I'm just like, okay. So the doctor comes back, and he starts to tell us what's going to be the plan and what we're going to do. And I'm like, I'll have the C-section. And he was like, great. And it was like instant, like, all these people like appeared like out of nowhere. Like they're really organized. They were talking to me, but I don't know. Like now I'm even more loopy, and like I just know I remember getting taken to the operating room, and I remember the hubster holding my hand, and I remember seeing the baby. It didn't take long. I remember seeing the baby, and yeah, and then I remember him disappearing. Like he was gone. Like as soon as that baby came out, I don't remember hearing her cry. I don't really remember. I was so out of it. But I just know he was like, he took off with the baby. I was by myself. And he went up to the NICU with her. She's in the NICU because she's so early. And I was like I remember getting taken back to the room. Next thing I remember, I was in my room. That's all I remember.
Look at the champ. Look at the champ.
room, and they eventually take me to a different room. As I was no longer on the labor delivery floor, I was on the recovery floor, and it was beautiful. Like, my view was so beautiful because I could see like the East River, or into Queens. It was beautiful. So probably have some footage of that. So staying in the hospital, I stayed for about a week. It was about a week because my blood pressure, I still had preeclampsia. After I had her, I still had preeclampsia after I left. It was really rough. Like, it just wouldn't leave my system. My blood pressure wouldn't go down. It wouldn't stabilize. I was still really, really swollen. I looked like the Michelin Man. It was crazy. So I didn't even see her for the first maybe 2 days because I just couldn't get out of bed. I was so messed up. So I just didn't know that that's what my experience was going to be like. Overall, the care was really good. They took really good care of me. The doctor was excellent. He was just amazing. Like, everything was just smooth and easy. Recovery wasn't as bad. I was in pain. Of course, the incision hurt. But it just was different from vaginal delivery. If you've been there, you know what I mean. Yeah, what else can I say? Coming home, I had a cane because I was having difficulty walking with my legs still being really swollen, and I think they gave me too much epidural, so I didn't really have sensation. I was incontinent, you know. Like, I really couldn't control myself, so I was with a cane, and it was really hard just coming home without a baby. Like, that was really hard. I had never done that before, and it just was tough on me emotionally. It's really still tough seeing a baby being that small. So I will not be sharing pictures of the baby while she's small like that, or video of her, because for her privacy, because I don't know if she would be okay with that. She can't speak for herself, so I'm gonna protect her in that way. But it was really, really rough. So that's how I delivered at 31 weeks to a preemie baby after having a geriatric pregnancy. It's been a lot. Oh, and then I mention that I had an emergency tooth extraction less than a month. Like, it was probably around the month mark. So all of a sudden my wisdom tooth just started throbbing. It's just been a lot, and I'm grateful to God for my blessing on my little baby, and I'm just grateful to still be here. I'm just totally grateful. So that's my story. Any questions or comments, leave it down below. Thank you so very much for watching. If I don't catch you, you will catch me in the next one. Later. Somebody is up. She's wiggling. Oh, look at her feet. Yeah, I don't want to show her face while she's in the NICU. I guess she comes home. But I can tell you, everyone says she looks like Daddy. I think she looks like me. And she has dimples and hiccups apparently right now. You had the hiccups? Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, you're doing a poop. What's going on? What's going on? And then mommy pick you up.